Hello everyone, welcome back to part 4 of the Krunker GFX Lounge Blender tutorial series. In this part we will learn about how to import maps and also do a little bit of organization and lighting. Alright, so I'm here in the tutorial 1 blend file, which we have built up over the last 2 parts. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 3, I highly recommend that you do so you can get to this stage. Alright, so if you look in the hierarchy view here, you can see that I have one collection, or one folder basically, that has everything in the scene. And later we want to organize things, so I'm actually going to add a couple new collections today. Right, to add a collection, you can Shift A to add, or you can right click in the hierarchy view and hit new collection. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the camera and the sun, and I'll drag them in here. Alright, and then I'll make another new collection. For the map. We're going to name this one map. Alright, so now all of our maps for Krunker are in the GLTF file format. So if you go to File, Import, you have to select this one here, GLTF 2.0. Alright, and if you go into the Quick Resources pack, you can find the Maps folder. And it has all the maps you want. Today, we're going to use Undergrowth. So you're just going to find Undergrowth right here. Bam. Alright, and we've selected the map collection. That way everything goes into the map. Lag a little bit because, it's a big map file. And make sure that when you import, you select that map collection or else it's going to go everywhere in your scene. Alright, I have everything selected. And I'm going to move everything down a little bit. So that way it's kind of aligned. Sort of. And then just for this, I'm going to, a little bit more. Alright. So you can see now our character is kind of small in the middle there. You can see him right here. I'm going to scale down the map a little bit. Alright. So now you can see that all of this is not in the map collection, but we have everything selected because when we import it does that. Just move everything into map. And bam, everything's in map now. So we just fold that up. We have a bunch of things in there. Alright, so, and now that makes it easier because if I deselect this and I don't want to go to the trouble of selecting everything, and I can just right click on map, select objects, and it selects everything for me. Alright. Finally, you can actually see him. He's kind of small right now. So if I select the rig and then the weapon, alright, I can move him up and then scale him up. Alright, until he's kind of standing kind of where we want him. At the right size. And then where do I want to put him? I think I want to put him over here. So we're just gonna move him here. Alright. We're also gonna rotate him a little bit. Alright. So now you can see it gets kind of tricky to navigate around, look around, right? Just press N again, back to your view. Hit lock to 3D cursor. And that means your view will kind of center on this 3D cursor here, which is this this anchor here. So to move that around, shift and right click, and it positions it where you want it. So like I want to focus in right here, I can just shift right click and kind of, position where I want. Alright, so this guy, I kind of want him to be looking like this. And by the way, to move on everything but the Z, you hit G, right? You can move on everything. If it's Shift Z, it moves it on everything but Z, alright, which is called the Z plane anyway. So I'm moving it on the X and Y, but not the Z. So I'm keeping him kind of level there. Alright, so if I have him kind of here, it's kind of the angle that I want, right? So he's got the map behind him. Okay. So here we have a sunlight here, and that is a global light that affects everything. And it's set at this color and angle because that's the default in Krunker. I'm just gonna actually move him down a bit so that he's standing in the ground. There you go. So now we've posed him kind of where we want in our map, right? So we have him here. Alright. Now we are going to do some lighting. Because right now, if you go up here, you can see that we're not actually using the scene lights or the scene world. Turn on scene lights, turn on scene world. And you can see that our scene actually isn't nearly as good looking as we think it is, simply because we don't actually have a world or a scene. So we're gonna go back here, and this kind of like illumination is just from the sun, right? It's kind of sun is casting a shadow on it. All right, so from here, the sun is a global light, but we also want a light kind of behind him. So what you can do is you can shift A, and light is right here. So if I want to add a spotlight, make the spotlight at our 3D cursor. You can rotate it. And I find for lights, it's easy to use the kind of trackball like rotation. So if I hit R and then R again, it gives me the trackball. I'm just gonna move this, put it kind of behind him. Give him a little bit of a backlighting there. Just power a little bit. Alright, and you can see over here is your light setting, so I can choose this an area light or a spotlight if I want to. Alright, now if we go into scene world, there's a little bit more light behind it. If I even yeah, a little bit of backlighting there. Alright, you can see that our actual environment, like our sky, is kind of a dark gray. And we will go over that in our next video. This main video was just about the map import. So that's it for part 4. Thank you guys for watching.